Hello everyone, Spnoak here, and this is 1909 of the game Crowds in 2020. The game is getting intense. This is what I consider the start of the end game at this point, when it will be decided if I can manage to win this game or if I will be forced into a draw, probably with other three players, because I predict that the most probable draw is with Spain, Italy and Russia, because France and Turkey can be eliminated. So let's see how that goes. First of all, I noticed that I could theoretically take Munich if Russia tapped Silesia. So my first attempt was to convince Russia to tap Silesia. No dice there, because Russia says that he and Italy are working together to take out Turkey, so he can't really attack Italy for now, but he will stab Italy later after Turkey is gone. No good news for now, but the fact that Russia says that it will stab Italy later is something I can latch on for hope, because if he actually does stab Italy later, that would mean that I can win, because my prediction is that I will come to a point in which I have to take Portugal, Spain and Marseille, and Italy will be the only player that can help Spain maintain everything. And if Russia attacks Italy from behind, then Italy will most likely just let me take this, because he needs to defend himself and try to survive, and at that point I win solo. So I don't know if Russia is lying to me and he actually doesn't intend to stab Italy in the future, but that's some sort of good news included in the bad news that Russia doesn't want to tap Silesia, but that's okay. Why would Russia even do that? If I were Russia, I would stalemate me in these centers around Munich, because at this point it dawns on me that Marseille, Spain and Portugal are not the only problem. Munich is also a problem. Basically, I need Munich, Marseille, Spain, Portugal and Paris to win this game. Paris, I can take it pretty much whenever I want it, but these four other centers, 3 Spanish, 1 Italian, are not guaranteed at all. Because basically, let me show. Basically, if Russia moves units in Prussia, Bohemia and Tyrolia, from Warsaw, Galicia and Trieste, and Italy moves an army into Piedmont, and also it moves fleets into North Africa and Western Mediterranean, I can't take any of these 4 centers, and I will be stuck at 14 centers after taking Paris, and I will be forced into a draw with Spain, Italy and Russia. And that's not really ideal, that's not what I want, so my diplomatic effort needs to ensure that no unit is placed in these centers, and that's a real challenge. That's a real challenge for sure. Another point is France, because if France hadn't moved his unit in Burgundy last year, but had actually moved it to Belgium like I asked, now Burgundy would be mine, and with an army in Burgundy I could take Munich right away and ensure one of the 4 centers I need to solo without risking Russia moving into the stalemate line, with the only basically defense that I have that impedes Russia from doing this is a verbal agreement that he won't go into Prussia, because Prussia is DMZ, so that agreement is going to become weaker and weaker as time goes on, because Russia knows that if it doesn't move into Prussia and into Bohemia and Tyrolia, I'm probably gonna win. So that's really bad, and that's why this move to Burgundy was really bad for me, because it gives Russia and Italy plenty of time to position themselves to stalemate me, and I can do really anything about it. So at this point I am considering eliminating France because he is a liability. I respect him as a player, he played really well as an ally, but I have to say that he gets a little too distracted with the orders And I know that this could be a revenge move because I stabbed him in that case. Good for him. But at this point, revenge or mistake, it doesn't matter. If moves like these prevent me from soloing, I don't really need France on my side, and that's a shame because this Gascony unit is very helpful. So for this turn, I just ask France to tap Marseille because Gascony doesn't have anything better to do while I position myself into Burgundy, and hopefully Russia and Italy don't move into position to stalemate me right now because they could. That's the scary part. In 1909, the game could have been basically stalemated for me, and then I should have just waited for the elimination of Turkey, which is actually a real shame. Also, France asked me why did I support everything, why did I support Belgium, why did I support Holland Terror, and I said that basically I needed to ensure these moves would work, and it actually made sense because with this combination of moves I couldn't take Ruhr without a support. So that question was kind of, I don't know, a useless explanation I had to give, but I gave it because I understand that France at this point doesn't trust me and wants to see a betrayal in every move, but actually these moves were very logical, even though now I'm planning to eliminate France at this point because of this mistake. But whatever. And Russia asked me to reach out to Turkey and to tell him that Russia was unlikely to go to Armenia. What's the Russian plan at this point? I deduced that he wants Turkey to move Armenia to Smyrna, and Italy will actually hold with this fleet in the Aegean Sea, so that Russia can move into Armenia and then they can destroy completely Turkey in a matter of a few turns. So I'm obviously not gonna tank Turkey because at this point Turkey is more useful to me than France. Because if Turkey can play the role of a piñata, something for Russia and Italy to beat down, basically, and he lasts really long, he defends himself at the best of his capabilities, I can actually solo if Italy is too distracted to move into position to stop me, if he deploys units and fleets in the east instead of the west where he should move them. So I'm not actually going to join into the Russian deceit of Turkey. I was actually going to tank Turkey to hold Armenia or to go to Sevastopol or something like that. But you know that Turkey didn't respond to me this game since 1901, and I told that to Russia, but I told him I was gonna try to reach out to Turkey because why not? And I tried to reach out to Turkey, but I didn't really say anything about these moves. I just asked why didn't he respond to me in the last years, because he said in 1901 that we should have kept in touch, and he said that after his situation got worse, he didn't see the point of any diplomatic conversation that wouldn't have helped him. And I don't really agree with that. I think the name of the game is diplomacy, and especially when you're in a bad spot, diplomacy is the only thing that can save you. When you're a stronger power, tactics can be enough to gain you centers, because right now, if you see me, I am still into diplomatic conversations, but now diplomacy can only prolong the inevitable stalemate line that they can form, and I can try to use diplomacy to prolong that while using tactics to put me in a position to win this game. So I don't understand why Turkey would think that diplomacy wouldn't help him, and I actually criticized him for this, but after my criticism I didn't get any more responses from Turkey for the rest of the game. So after all of that went on, let's see if how the turn went. I of course am going to use Belgium to go to Burgundy and force myself in, and let's see if Russia and Italy form the stalemate line. So they didn't form the stalemate line. Actually, Italy moved Tunis to Ionian Sea, and that's really great. This move, coupled with Venice not going to Piedmont, really are the major mistakes by Italy in this game. At this point, he can't afford to deploy any more units to the east. He can't afford to not trust Russia, because he is probably holding Venice because he doesn't trust Russia not to take Venice. And that's just foolish in my opinion. He should definitely go west to stop me, and he doesn't. I take Mid-Atlantic Ocean, I take Burgundy, France keeps his word, and Russia doesn't even move into the stalemate line in Prussia, Bohemia, and Tyrolia. But that's understandable. Russia probably wants to keep me on side, knowing that even if I take Munich, I can't really take Marseille, Spain, and Portugal, because Italy can stop me. So it doesn't really see the need of going this way. And this means that now I can guarantee Munich. I can guarantee Munich because Burgundy can move to Munich with 2 supports, and Saint-Leger can support Munich, but that's 3 versus 2. I can guarantee Munich. I could also guarantee Marseille if France supports me into Marseille. If I go Burgundy to Marseille and Gascogne supports Burgundy to Marseille, while Mid-Atlantic Ocean goes to Spain, I can guarantee Marseille. So now I have to make a choice. Do I take Marseille and let France leave and use him to take Marseille and not take Munich now and move like Picardy to Burgundy? So do I commit to the Western Front, or do I commit to Munich? This took many factors to decide, because for one, I can't really trust France. At this point, France has been loyal for basically all the game, but he has been unreliable nevertheless because of his multiple mistakes in this game due to not changing or updating orders according to our plan. And this means that will he actually support Burgundy to Marseille? I don't really know. While I know for sure that I can take Munich because the units needed to take Munich are mine. Of course, Holland is going to Kiel, so I can keep Munich. Also, this Mid-Atlantic Ocean, if I want to take Marseille, needs to tap Spain. But if I'm going to take Munich, this Mid-Atlantic Ocean can try to enter the Mediterranean now that Italy is going to Ionian, and so I can take North Africa for sure. And I can even try for Western Mediterranean, but that's not a sure move. So that's really difficult to decide, and in the end I decided based more of a sensation that I couldn't trust France, that France had been unreliable, and I couldn't probably win because of that last move in 1908 to eliminate France, to fight this on my own at this point against Russia and Italy and Spain, and to use France for the last time in this turn to do something useful. So I was going to move Burgundy to Munich, supported by Ruhr and Berlin, while I asked France to move to Burgundy because I don't want Marseille to move to Burgundy. And let me show this. Basically, after last turn, as you can see, I am not really worried about Prussia, Bohemia, and Tyrolia now, because after I take Munich, Ruhr, Kiel, and Berlin will be enough to defend Munich. But they will not be sufficient to defend Munich if Marseille goes to Burgundy. So I need France to move to Burgundy to bounce Spain this turn while I get into Paris. And at that point, France will be eliminated, but at that point, Spain will not be able to get into Burgundy anymore, and Munich will be safe. So I asked strongly of France to move to Burgundy. He asked why, what is Burgundy doing? And I told him I was attacking Munich, and he was opposed to that. He wanted me to attack Munich later, and that's suspicious, I think, but what can you do? And I asked him really strongly, please go to Burgundy, please double check your moves and let me know. And he double checked and he confirmed it to me, and that was my last decision. I was gonna take Munich, get rid of this part of the possible stalemate line that Russia and Italy could form against me, and then go for Marseille, Spain, and Portugal, hoping that Venice wouldn't move to Piedmont, because this is the only move I need to worry about in this turn, Venice to Piedmont. And actually using Mid-Atlantic Ocean to go to one of these two centers and entering the Mediterranean was crucial to try to win this game at this point. I didn't have Austria to do it for me, and I actually had a decision. Would I go for the North Africa move, which is guaranteed, no one can stop me from getting into North Africa, but getting into North Africa is slightly less useful than getting into Western Mediterranean, or would I go to Western Mediterranean? And at this point, I thought that Spain was gonna support Spain with Portugal, because I could have just tapped Marseille and used Mid-Atlantic Ocean to attack Spain with Gascony support, so he needed to do that. And I hoped that Spain didn't read my mind and didn't do the actual useful move, which is Spain to Western Mediterranean. So I decided to go to Western Mediterranean, and this wasn't an easy choice. I knew that this choice could decide the game. At this point, every single move I do could decide this game. Even eliminating France is not a really good move, because moving Picardy to Burgundy would be useful, because if Italy doesn't really move to Piedmont, I can take Marseille next turn. So it's a string of choices. And also another reason to take Munich instead of Marseille is because I am evaluating that Russia is a better player, a way better player than Italy. And Russia will know to move to Prussia, Bohemia, and Tyrolia very soon. So I need to take Munich before that. While I don't know if Italy knows to move to Piedmont at this point, because it really needs to move to Piedmont. It should have moved from this fleet in Ionian back when it was in Tunis to Western Mediterranean and North Africa, and they didn't do it. So I don't know. I think Italy is being a little foolish, to be honest. And they say that you can't win a game if one of the opponents doesn't make a mistake, or if one of the opponents doesn't throw the game to you. If the opponents played perfectly, you basically you could never solo. And yeah, I think that in this case the mistakes are being made by Italy, but Italy still has time. It can move to Piedmont, and after it takes some Turkish centers, he needs to build in Rome or Naples and send those fleets west. And that's another reason why I'm taking Munich, because I'm predicting now that Italy will take Smyrna this turn. These last turns, Italy has done some moves to encourage Turkey to get back. So now Italy is most likely going to Smyrna and taking it. And if Italy takes Smyrna, it will build something if I don't take Munich from him. So I need to take Munich so Italy doesn't have a build. And I spent the rest of the turn chatting with Russia about the fact that Turkey doesn't respond to messages. Of course, he responded once, but I didn't tell this to Russia. And talking to Russia is a way to keep rapport with him and avoid him getting into Prussia, Bohemia, and Tyrolia at this point, or even doing anything else that could mean something bad for me. But at this point, even if he goes there, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, it never hurts you to talk amicably with a player that can be your ally or your adversary. So let's see how that went. Yeah, so France kept his word for the last time, and I actually eliminated him. RIP France, I'm sorry, I betrayed him over and over this game while he was really loyal to the bone, but this loyalty was in some way ruined by some mistakes in miscommunication between me and him, and probably I should have trusted him more and let him live in Burgundy and then moving. No, actually, no, it didn't make sense. I think taking Paris was the good move at this point, because with him in Burgundy, I needed to pass through Paris to go to Gascony. So, yeah, I took Munich, and this was another mistake by Italy. He retreated into Tyrolia. At this point, Italy should have destroyed the army here. He should have decided to disband the Munich army and to rebuild it, because he took Smyrna, so he is equal in centers. He should have rebuilt this army as a fleet in Rome or Naples and moved west. So Italy made another major mistake, and I remember in the retreat phase I was praying for him to retreat and not to disband. I was literally praying to the diplomacy god, I guess, that Italy wouldn't see that disbanding this unit is a better move. Most players never disband on a retreat phase. and they always decide to retreat, and that's, in this case, that was a mistake. Russia could have covered Tyrolia, Bohemia, and Prussia, so Italy should have destroyed and been a fleet, but they didn't do that. Thanks, Italy. And Spain did the right move. Spain predicted what I was going to do, and I was really sad about this because I should have moved to North Africa. I lost a tempo in the Mediterranean, but because of the retreat by Italy, I still have time to move to North Africa, so that's kind of okay. Nothing is certain at this point. Yes, I have Munich, but Turkey is falling, and I need Italy not to move to Piedmont. If Italy moves to Piedmont, next turn is basically over. If Italy moves to Piedmont at any point, it can support Marseille forever, and Portugal can support Spain forever, and as long as Italy puts some fleets in this area, I can't really win this game. So this was a really tactical year, a little bit of press between me and France and me and Russia, but not that much. And at this point, it's all about the Spanish centers. Spain is the last stand against me, and he can't do it alone. He needs Italy, but when Italy understands that he needs to trust Russia and needs to go to Piedmont, can I sow enough distrust between Italy and Russia to avoid him defending Spain and force him to draw? We'll see. So, again, RIP friends, you will be missed. You were a real and truly loyal ally. And even though we had our differences and some of your moves, I didn't really appreciate them. Of course, you didn't appreciate my betrayals. So all in all, my alliance with you was one of the most satisfying, the best alliance I had based on trust, and I saved your bacon earlier and you were really loyal to me. So I thank you for the consideration you had for me for this game, and actually France continued even after I eliminated him to root for me in global chat in this game. So I really appreciate him. See you in 1910.